Hi, it's very nice to be here on this chat, speaking to the Working Moms group on Jobs for Her about how does one build a personal brand and what are the do's and don'ts. When do you need to be a little soft with your tone in your words, and when do you need to be shouting it out and saying it out loud as comfortably as possible. My personal opinion is that when we are asked, so what do you do, or who are you, we probably start by saying, I am Rina Barreto Shankar, and I am an entrepreneur, and I have worked for 15 years in the corporate sector. And that's how we normally start, because we tend to define ourselves by what we have done, by our work. It's very rarely, and it's a lot less comfortable for me, for example, a few years back to have said, I'm Rina Barreto Shankar, and I'm a mother who loves going out dancing. I also believe in fitness, so I do exercise, I meditate very regularly, and I love interacting with youngsters and the youth. So I do conduct sessions at colleges on the power of communication and how does one communicate impactfully. And yes, I also happen to be an entrepreneur with brand development as my experience. My belief now over the years and with a lot of experience has been that when we communicate a little more about ourselves, we connect better. And therefore, my line has always been the power of our communication depends on, or rather determines the quality of our connections with people, whether it is with friends and family, or with customers, or with team members, or with employers, or with employees. So thank you so much for joining me on this chat, and I'll be very happy to take your questions. I'm sure I learn a lot along the way. So I'm going to just find out what's in here for me. My topic, as you know, is about things to keep in mind while creating a personal brand. I look forward to any questions that you may have on the topic. What does one do as an entrepreneur? What does one do as a working mom? What does one do as an employee? What does one do as a professional? And why is it really important? Why do people this? My belief is that it is not just about somebody knowing you, it's also about you getting to know yourself a little better when you know that somebody is wanting to know about you. And therefore, the first bit of it is awareness. And that just helps. There's absolutely nothing that can go wrong if you get inside yourself and get to know a little more about who you are. So if you're asked to define yourself, you should be able to say that one word or one line, which you're very comfortable with, which you say it out aloud, and then it feels good. It feels very comfortable saying it. So if I were asked, how do you define yourself in one word, I'd say tenacious, because I've had a lot of failures. I've had a bumpy ride personally and professionally, and I love the fact that nothing seems to keep me down or demotivate me. So tenacious, yes, I keep at it, I stick at it, I go through with the plan. I feel uncomfortable a lot of times, but there's always that vision ahead that keeps me going. So tenacious is the word I use to describe myself. Do you have that one word that describes you? If somebody were to say, who are you? Or define yourself to me, what would you say? And that to me is personal branding. I have got a question here. There is a huge market for those who have a great social media presence today, but I'm not very tech savvy. So how else can I build my personal brand? So in this day and age, one assumes that personal branding is about being online, being on Instagram, being on Facebook, sharing your personal life, sharing your professional life. Yes, it is that, because there's a whole big audience out there, either your prospective customers and clients and supporters or prospective employers. So irrespective of who it is, you do need to reach out to them online. And that, I believe, completely depends on your comfort level. Comfort level can be acquired. You can say that I'm rather shy or I'm not comfortable being in front of the camera. But if it is important for you to do so, it's something that you can learn and acquire. You just need to observe people who do it, observe people who you like watching online, whose online presence you're very comfortable with, and say that, okay, I can try, I can do that. But the question here is, I'm not very tech savvy, so how else can I build my personal brand? Again, I think a personal brand happens the moment you wake up. And what I mean by that is, how do you feel about yourself the moment you wake up? What are those thought processes that run in your head? Does the first thought that comes to your head say, what am I going to do today? I'm not too sure how I'm going to face work. I've got so much happening and lots of stuff left pending. And I've got a party to go to in the evening, and my kids, I have to take up their studies. And well, so the personal branding bit begins there, because in your mind, you are defining yourself as a very harassed, confused, overloaded, overwhelmed person. There is another way, and you can learn it. Everybody can learn it. I learned it the hard way. You can just probably say that today I'm this person who is extremely calm and composed and very comfortable with what life is throwing at me personally and professionally. And then you define yourself every morning, and that's where personal branding starts. And then, of course, you need to get to your work. So how do you dress up is important. We've learned that many times. How do you present yourself, and how do you look at yourself in the mirror is the way people will also perceive you. So if you do enjoy dressing a particular way, which is your comfort, right? Which feels comfortable to you. It can be your sweatshirt and your track pants, and it really doesn't matter. But then the moment you are, it just kind of fits into your personality, it's great. If you like to be a little more dressy, that's also personal branding. The third bit is communication. How do you actually communicate to people once you have stepped into your office? So I'm going to say it this way. I believe that if you want above average results in your personal and professional life, you need to have an above average smile, you need to have an above average handshake, you need an above average mindset, you need an above average self-belief. And that's where, again, personal branding comes in. So yes, you have fed yourself a healthy mental diet, you have appropriately, comfortably dressed yourself, you have communicated with people you meet along the way to work in a manner which is warm and pleasant and likable. So they will click on that like button when they see you online, just because your personality is that, and doesn't matter what you've posted, they already know you as a person. That's personal branding. Making yourself visible to people in different situations is the other bit. So what I mean, in other words, is networking. So attending conferences, sessions, workshops, or even volunteering to be part of a group, an organization, a mission is what personal branding is. So, for instance, I personally love volunteering for a couple of events that happen here in Goa. There is the TEDx event that happens, and for me it is a very intellectual platform. It is a platform where ideas are shared and spread, and I believe in that. I personally believe in it, so I volunteer my time. And there are a few others that I do that. The moment you are doing that, you are again building your personal brand, because you're telling people that this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm comfortable about. And that's how branding happens, even if you're not very tech savvy. It happens offline, it happens online. I've got another question from Divya. By the way, that question was asked by Deepika. Deepika, thank you so much for that question. And if you want to be online, you should just follow role models online. I did it a couple of years back when I decided that personal branding was important because I was an entrepreneur. So look at women, look at men. Pick up things, pick up body language, pick up thought processes, pick up habits, pick up philosophy that fits into your own personality type, and see, observe, listen, and then learn how to do it yourself. Fortunately, we are in that day and age where everything can be learned online. So I'm sure you'll be extremely tech savvy in just a few weeks if you decide to. I've got Divya here who asks, I am a work from home mom. Why should I be building a personal brand? Awesome. So Divya, I tried to be a work from home mom for a small bit. Again, the thought was, why do I need people to know who I am? Now, I'm assuming that if you're a work from home mom, you are either part of a company that hires women who work from home, or you do your own thing. The reason personal branding is important is because your exposure, your face-to-face exposure to people is much reduced because you work from home. So the ability for people, or the opportunity for people to know you better, is a little reduced because of that. People trust, respect, like, and admire somebody that is in front of them, that they can listen to, that they can speak to, that they can understand a little more about. The moment somebody is making themselves available online or offline, I'm more comfortable with that person. So it's not about it's really not about saying that this is what I ate in the morning and this is what I'm going to be doing in the evening and these are my kids and this is where I'm going to be partying with my friends later. It's just about saying that if, for instance, you believe in protection of the environment, right? And that is very different from what your work is. Your work could be very different, but as a mindset, as a thought process, you're very passionate about saving the environment, using less plastic, and a whole lot of those things. I think it is very important for people to know that personal bit of you because it lends a lot to your professional image. It says that this person is so much more than what she does as her work. It says that she's got values and beliefs. She's got a thought process where she is very comfortable saying what she needs online. And now I know a little more about her, and that's why personal branding is important, even when you're working at home. Just because people like to know and are more comfortable with people that they know a little more about. Yes, so that is my submission to you. And while we wait for more questions, I must speak to you about about being a working mom, and I'm hoping that I do get some questions specifically on how does one do that working mom bit. So for me, also, it's been a bit of a challenge area earlier until I made up my mind to take my work home and to bring my home to my work. So which basically means that my son, who is 9 years old, when I go back home to him and I try and work 2-3 days of the week from home. Fortunately, I'm an entrepreneur. I can choose to do that. As a business, I handle brand development, marketing, design, communication for businesses. And yes, so I do have the liberty to work from home. I make sure that when I'm home, I am involving my 9-year-old in what I'm doing. So I say to him, do you think this color combination looks good in this logo, or do you think we should use this tagline? Which one sounds familiar to you? Now, the moment I do that, he knows that I'm not segregating myself from him, and therefore work is not taking my mother away from me. Work is something that I can also put my brains on and look very smart in front of my mom. And over the last 2 years, he has become rather brilliant about giving me brilliant taglines, even for clients. So I just tell him, so this is this is the product or the service, and what do you think we should say about them? And he enjoys it. It gives him something to show off to his friends with. So yes, I do bring work home. And I've made this little handwritten cards for him that says that he's my business advisor, and he feels great about it. And yes, I also take a lot of time away from work. I bring him into my workspace. I bring him into work, either in my office or in my co-working space. So he comes to work with me. And that's how I try and balance the work and life. I believe in being on a high with life and work as much as possible. It's not always possible, but if you make those little things happen, then yes, it does. It does happen. He knows that I love to go out dancing, so even when he needs me at home or he wants me at home, I'm there. But then he knows that I've got my personal time where I will go out and do my thing. I think children are much smarter than we give them credit for, and they're much more accommodative, and they're much more understanding than we believe. We have this huge thing about being working moms, and some little bit of our brains does have a little guilt complex. I had it hugely with my elder one. I always felt I wasn't spending time with him, but I think we need to learn how to get rid of that, and then it's great fun all the way. Okay, I've got a question from Sushma. Sushma says, do I need to be in a managerial position to create a personal brand? So Sushma, personal branding actually transfers, it kind of goes across all levels. It depends on what is it that you want to say about yourself. When you're creating a personal brand, with what objective do you want to create a personal brand? So as an entrepreneur, I know that people need to know more about me than about my product and service, because they will first trust me, appreciate me, look at my value and belief systems and say that I'd like my work to be handled by this person, and it's great that she does work that aligns with my business. So yes, as somebody who is working in an organization, whether you're in a managerial position, above it or below it, really does not matter. The point is, you need to define an objective. The reason I am building my personal brand, or the reason I am speaking about myself or sharing my views, is because I want better prospects later on, or it's because I want to connect to like-minded people who are also passionate about, for example, technology. So I want to give my opinions, my ideas, my mindset. I want to say who I am. I want to say that I also love going out and doing sport. So I'm a very sporty person, and that is what personal branding is about. It's about, say, being very comfortable with who you are, and then wanting to connect with similar, like-minded people, or just being very open about yourself and saying that, "Hi, world, this is me, and I'd like you to know me." So it doesn't matter whether you're in a managerial position. It's about the objective. You should have a long-term vision about it. I believe that it helps build personal comfort. It has done that to me. It has helped me build my confidence hugely. It has brought in more opportunities the moment I have been comfortable saying that this is what I am, this is what I do, this is what I like to do in my personal time, this is what I think about fitness and health. It has brought in a whole lot of opportunities, because people just feel that, oh, okay, this person is nice and comfortable and approachable, and I'm sure she'll be able to do a good job out of the work that we have. So yes, I like that question, Sushma. Thank you for that. And let's see what more we have out here. Akshata asks, for a woman who is looking to restart after a career break of 8 years, what are the steps she needs to take to build her personal brand? So Akshata, you've been on a break for 8 years. I hope you've had an okay time with that. It's great that you're going to restart your career. Personal branding is super important, and it's going to be super fun if you just embrace it and say that, yes, let me do it. What should you do? One is you need to start speaking online, which basically means that you need to get yourself more visible. Go inside first, inside your mind, and say, what is it about myself that I'd like to say to anybody and everybody who is online? Somebody who will see me on Facebook, somebody who will see me on LinkedIn. Should I be just saying I'm a restarter, I'm looking for jobs in this particular industry? Yes, you can say that, but is it possible to make yourself a lot more interesting and a lot more noticeable by saying other things? For instance, can you comment on somebody else's post, probably either in an industry that you are familiar with or in an area that you're passionate about, which has got nothing to do with work? The moment you are making a comment, you are saying that, yes, I have a mindset about what you have posted, and I'm very comfortable sharing my mindset. So you need to do that. You need to build your personal brand by going online, commenting. If you've not really done anything yet. Of course, I'm sure you've got your biodata on LinkedIn and everything. But commenting on other people's posts very intelligently in something that you're very comfortable saying, and not just for the sake of saying it, or posting something which you believe in, which is something very dear to your heart, something intelligent which is relevant on that particular platform. You need to do that. And then when people look at your post, they'll also say that, oh, okay, she seems to be also looking for a job. She's a restarter. I like her thought processes. I like her opinions. I like her comfort with these particular things. I would love to call her for an interview. So yes, that's the one big reason. The other big reason is the more you are putting yourself out there, the more you'll be comfortable with yourself, the more you'll feel confident, the more you'll make mistakes and learn from them. If you're not going to give yourself a chance to say the wrong thing sometimes, you'll never know what you shouldn't say ever again. I've made those mistakes, and I'm fine with them now. I've said things, and then I've said that, okay, maybe that wasn't so intelligent, and then I've taken it off. But you need to think about, I'm posting this, will I be comfortable with this a month from now? If my parents or my kids look at it, will I be comfortable with that? If some future employer looks at it, will I be okay with that? So think about those aspects and then go online. Personal branding is not about you putting your photograph out there and saying this is who I am. It's about your thought processes, what you express in words, what you revert to other people, how kind and considerate you are when you're reverting or posting. That's what personal branding is, and that's what people love. Even in the professional scenario, they love to know how many years of experience you have, but that years of experience actually get much more enhanced and looks much better when there is a beautiful personality that they see online. So you must do it. And now you know the steps, and I'm wishing you all the very best. I hope you have a great time with your restart career. Okay, the next question is from Bhuvana, and she says, as I'm currently working as a freelancer, please suggest what can I do to build personal branding. So great. I wish I knew what you were doing, Bhuvana. I've told you what I do. When I started as an entrepreneur, in brand building, brand development strategy to promote and communicate and design your brand and to market it. Um, I had done it before, so I was very comfortable with it. But this was a little different because I was doing it as an entrepreneur. I was doing it as an independent person. So people needed to know me. There are so many brand strategists in the city that I live, in the city that you live, in everywhere around. They're online, they're available online. Why would somebody say that she's different? Is it because I've had 15 years of work experience in brand development? I don't think so. I don't think that is the determining factor. So earlier, I did think that that was it. I just needed to say that I've got 15 years of work experience working in a foreign national bank as well as in a multinational advertising agency, and that will be enough. So I waited and I watched. I thought the 15 years would be impressive, and then a little bit of work would trickle in. And then I started going online. I started observing other women across the world, other men across the world online who were doing similar work. I realized that they were online a lot. They were very comfortable talking about themselves. They were very comfortable posting on Instagram. They were very comfortable making YouTube videos about themselves. And I said, let me give it a try. I'm, after all, an entrepreneur. When they start out as a freelancer, right? They're just kind of saying that, okay, I handle design and communication. Can you give me work, right? So that's what I started doing. And I created an Instagram page. I started posting about what I was doing, about things that impressed me, that things that inspired me. I went on to LinkedIn and picked out very selective stuff that on that platform would look intelligent and smart, because one needs to be very particular about what is that platform about, what can one post there. You surely wouldn't post your personal photographs and parties and things that you do with your friends on LinkedIn, but you would on Insta and Facebook. So if somebody is comfortable with me on Facebook and says, oh, she seems to be this vibrant personality who does all this, let's see what she does professionally. And then they check me online on LinkedIn and they say, okay, she's got 15 years of experience and this is what she's doing now. And suddenly it all falls together. So I started doing that. The one big lesson I learned was that I started becoming more comfortable with myself, having my photographs clicked, having a camera in front of me and speaking in front of a camera. All those things I was very uncomfortable with, but because I got comfortable with that, a lot other opportunities started coming up. So I now host and present a lot of shows on stage because I've just got a lot more confident. And the opportunities with my work also have started scaling up hugely because I speak about work-life balance. I speak about why it is important for women to be able to speak up their mind. Why is it important to feel happy with whatever you're doing? Why is it important to define success in your own terms? So when I was at particular interviews or sessions or panel discussions, and I was asked, what have you done? How many team members do you have, or how much has your company grown? And at first, I would allow that to make me uncomfortable because I wasn't doing brilliantly well. And then I thought about it and I said, but that's not my definition of success. For me, I have lived in a big city for 15 years. The fact that I've chosen to move to the smallest state in the country, like Goa, and conduct my work from here because I want to have a better life and fresh air and time and great moments with my kid is a definition of success. So I started redefining it for myself because, and that to me is personal branding. When you make yourself available out to people and they see you and ask you uncomfortable questions, you go back and say that, is this really what I am? Is this what success is? And now I feel that that entire journey of personal branding has brought me into a very comfortable place where work is flowing better, my personal life, my time with my kid, my time with my hobbies and my interests is so much better. And that is what personal branding is about. You need to do it. You need to go on to all the right platforms, pick up role models. There is always that opinion that you should be your own self. Don't try and copy somebody else. I do not copy anybody else. I model the bits and pieces of them that I like. For example, how do they use their body language? How does one look more confident while speaking on stage? I model that. And I feel that much more confident the moment I modeled it. So pick up those people that you like observing and copy them, and model them, not copy them. Be yourself. Be who you are truly and comfortably in your mind, Bhuvana, and go and start doing your personal branding. So I wish you all the very best. Okay, and I am going to wait. Trisha, okay. So Trisha asks, is it really helpful to approach a professional brand consultant to build your brand? What do they actually do? I love this question because that was a question in my mind. Can somebody look at it from a different point of view and therefore help me to build my personal brand better? They're called professional because of a reason. They have the expertise to look at things that you would not look at. They have the expertise of years of researching, of observing other people, of building other people's brands, of building their own personal brands, and therefore they are professional. They will tell you everything, right from how should you dress in a photo shoot, what are the angles that you need to be sitting at to look professional. If it's a professional photograph, if your picture is going to appear in an article in a magazine or a newspaper, what kind of dress you need to be wearing, and how should you be looking at the camera. They will tell you if this is your personality type, these are the things you should say, these are the things you shouldn't say, because they will look uncomfortable if you say those. They will tell you which are the places you should make yourself available, which are the platforms, online platforms that you should go and speak at or be seen at or network at. They will completely understand your industry. They will spend that time doing that. And you are then left free to spend your time building your profile or your business or your employee profile, right? Whereas somebody else who's an expert is helping you to build your brand. It's exactly similar to any brands that you see on the shelves. The reason that when you walk into a supermarket, you see particular brands on the shelf is because they're popular. People want to buy them. Yes, a lot of marketing money has gone into them, but that's the reason they are in our minds, and that's the reason they are top of mind. So when I want to buy a toothpaste, I'd probably go and pick up the one that I have that is familiar in my, the name, the brand name that is familiar to me and I'm comfortable with. And that is the same with personal branding. The more you the better and the more precise and the more focused is your personal brand building strategy, the more effective you will be. It will save you a lot of time, it will save you a lot of effort, you will make less mistakes, you will look better on camera, you will say the right things in the right language on online platforms, or if you're attending events and collaborating with people for work. A professional person would help you. Having said that, it is also possible, if you have the luxury of time, to do it by yourself by studying it online. So I believe in constant learning. I do it all the time. I enroll to a whole lot of online courses, and I keep on learning. So personal branding is also something you can pick up as a short-term course online from any of the websites that sell online courses. You can learn it. You can, like I said before, the best way and the easiest way is observing somebody who's already online and doing it. How are they dressing? What way are they using their facial expressions? How comfortable are they? Are they exuding warmth? Are they exuding confidence? Are they exuding professionalism? Are they exuding affection? What is it? So if you're selling a cosmetic brand, obviously you need to look the part. You need to be completely perfectly groomed and look perfect, right? If you are an NGO and you run an NGO and that's what your work is, then you need to look the part. You cannot look completely different from what you do. So a professional person is able to spend the time to do that, research it for you, and give you suggestions. You can also do it yourself if you observe other people in your industry and do it yourself. Thank you so much, Trisha. So Shweta asks, Rina, what are the ways to revisit our branding and renovate our social image? Okay. What are the ways to revisit our branding and renovate our social image? Okay. So let's assume that once upon a time you were online, and at that particular time you were feeling a lot different about life. So you posted every possible picture of every possible party you went to, and every time you met a celebrity, you'd say, "Can I have a selfie?" And you'd click photographs and you'd put them online, and then you came to a different stage in life where you wanted to present yourself more professionally. You want to rebrand yourself. You want people to look at you as this extremely polished, accomplished, successful, intelligent businesswoman, or somebody, or a professional. How do you rebrand yourself? One is kind of try and take away the pictures that do not convey what you want to now convey. Take them off from your online mediums. You can do that very comfortably. Second is put down a plan, have a strategy. Don't be random about it. Say that these are the 1, 2, 3 things that I believe in on a personal front. So I am really passionate about fitness. I am also very passionate about women entrepreneurship or women at work. And third thing is, I believe that the work-life balance and the happiness factor are very important no matter what I do in life. If these are the 3 things that I have defined for myself as a person, then I need an online strategy which are in line with that strategy. It means that when I go online, it will not be different from what I really am. It means that when I post a picture, it is in line with who I want to project myself to be. When I'm at a professional setting, when I'm either at a workshop or a session or a panel discussion or any of those professional scenarios, I present myself in a particular way, so which means you have made up your mind saying that I want to appear as very elegant, extremely intelligent, and extremely resourceful. Now, these are just words, but they can be displayed and demonstrated in the way you dress up and you present yourself, the way you sit, the way you use your hands. If you have made up your mind about the 1, 2, 3 things that you are, and the 1, 2, 3 things that you're passionate about in a personal scenario, then you will be able to define your branding strategy and renovate your social image completely. You will post only those pictures which are in line with what you have thought about. I really hope that helps, Shweta. Yes, so I do think that that is the last question. We have crossed our time limit. Thank you very much for listening in to me. I wish you luck in building your personal brand. I think it's a great thing to do. I think it is wonderful when people get to know you a little better, because you get to know yourself a lot better through the process. It just allows you to express the real person to the rest of the world, to people who matter. It allows yourself to also become a role model to people who observe you and say that I really appreciated the way you said that, or the way you appeared in that particular scenario. It brings opportunities because people like those who they know a lot more about. It brings you opportunities. So great luck in your personal branding journey, and thank you very much for listening in to me.